Hello, I'm Haley Grace Clark.
And I'm Jay Collin.
It's great to have you with us for this, the first edition of Ozarks Weekly for the spring 2020 season. Ozarks Weekly is an information and entertainment magazine show dedicated to the stories of the University of the Ozarks and the community of Clarksville.
We honestly couldn't be more excited to have you here tonight.
That's very true. We have a spectacular show ahead of us.
That's right, and at first, the heart of the small town is its people. When one hurts, we all hurt. Ozarks Weekly digital storytellers Fiona Chin and Joe Shin Lee report on a recent fundraiser for a local family after a tragic car accident claiming the life of Fatima Elizondo and injures children in the vehicle. As their video tribute shows, we're a community that comes together in times of need.
Well, the thing that we're trying to do here is for Mr. Lott or Alessandro's family. He's been a lot of good for the community. He's helping us a lot. So we try to do something for him. Trying to get some help. Trying to give him some help for him and his family because he's going through these bad times. So we're trying to do this tournament, to get some money for him and trying to help. So that's what I'm trying to do here.
We so appreciate everybody that's here. I can't tell you how much Lud and Fatima and his family mean to the community. He's been volunteering with me for the last 19 years to help with the soccer. Soccer's his passion. Soccer was Fatima's passion. She was always watching and always supporting Lud and always supporting the high school kids, my group, and we love this family so much. You can see everybody's support today. It shows how much everybody else cared about this family. And we want to thank you guys for coming out and playing. I think Mr. Cabello there in the middle. Go ahead and meet out there in the middle. This is some words from Mr. Cabello. We want to thank everybody that's here.
I've been, working with him all this, maybe 10 years. And he's been all helping the community, helping the school by, volunteer. He's not getting any money from that. He's volunteer for the high school soccer team, and he's working too with for the kids. We have an association. We're working for the Tri-County Soccer Association. That's for the kids, and he's been, helping all these kids. Raising up, trying to do some things for the community, especially for the schools. So that's what we try and giving something to him.
One word to describe Coach Love would be caring,
passionate,
brave, a good coach,
passionate,
dedicated,
persevering,
hardworking, inspirational,
disciplined,
devoted, understanding, considerate, generous, kind-hearted,
inspirational,
determined,
role model,
motivational,
compassionate,
driven, selfless, reliable, fierce,
role model,
loving, hardworking,
resilient,
irreplaceable,
Passionate. He is fiery. He wants everybody to do so well on everything, and not just soccer, but life in general. He's a force to be reckoned with.
A common phrase we all grew up hearing is safety first, which is exactly what Macy Wilson focuses on in this next story on the Clarksville Police Department, as she goes into detail on how officers keep the community safe on a daily basis. Getting insight from the Chief of Police, Jeff Ross, Macy goes further in depth regarding the main contributing factor for committed crimes and giving advice to the community on how we can all stay safe.
In Clarksville, Arkansas, there are roughly 10,000 individuals living in this small town. There are a variety of factors that contribute to the relative peacefulness of the community. One of the main factors is effective policing. Clarksville Police Chief Jeff Ross hasn't been at the top of the department for long, but he already has a strong sense of community, having been an officer here for many years.
I started with the Clarksville Police Department in 1995 as a weekend dispatcher. I did it for 18 months and then was promoted to a patrolman in 1997, August of 97. I've done numerous positions, or I've had numerous positions. I've been a detective, I've been warrants officer, I've taken care of the sex offenders, keeping them up and registered. I've done patrol and became supervisor and worked my way up through there. And now as the chief, it's kind of, I guess, the end chapter of it, I guess. It's just how long can you stay in there? I mean, we're staffed with good men and women here, which everybody could always use more, but we make do with what we have. We usually have 3 on a shift at any given time. Detectives, we have 2 full-time detectives, and then in the Special Operations Division, we pull from them from time to time to fill in as detectives as needed, as times call for it.
With the amount of police officers working at the Clarksville Police Station, the town should be more than just safe. But do they feel like they're accomplishing their goal in keeping the town safe?
Everything we get, I mean, you have your good and you have your bad. With covering 17 square miles, with the number of people that we use, very well with what we have. You know, we usually have a quick response time anywhere in the city. When something major happens, you know, we also have the help of other agencies that will come in and assist. You know, we had an incident yesterday and the county was there, the state police was there. So, I mean, it was just more than us, but, you know, it had a good outcome. And within 30, 40 minutes of it being over with, we started getting calls from businesses, you know, appreciating what we could do and putting a stop to what was going on. We go with a proactive stance. We try to be seen as much as possible. You know, being seen as a deterrent, very hard to judge what you deter from happening, because I mean, if it doesn't happen, we didn't know it was going to happen. So I mean, it's hard to judge what we actually deter, but having a good presence in the communities and the neighborhoods and businesses and stuff, you know, is just proactive policing.
With the chief of police and the rest of the police officers working hard to keep the town safe, the real question is, what is the cause of all the crime committed?
I would just say, you know, the national problem that everybody has is drug use, and, you know, it seems that when you see a rise in it, you know, your thefts go up and you'll start working a lot of theft cases and stuff. But like I said, drug use is a national problem. It's just not here in Clarksville. I mean, a lot of times, I mean, it's hard to judge the crime rate sometimes, because it seems like when unemployment's up, you know, your crime rate's going to be up because people are trying to make a revenue source for their family or their self. With drug use, you know, there's always comes with the thefts, and because they're trying to find a way to fund their addiction.
With the chief of police and the rest of the police officers offering what they can to keep the community safe, here are some suggestions that the chief of police would like for the community to do in order to keep the town safer.
That we would stress to anybody is, you know, just be cautious of your surroundings. You know, pay attention to things. When you leave your house, look at your windows and blinds and stuff. When you return, make sure they look the same. If they don't, call us. You know, I mean, that's what we're here for, is to come and make sure that you're safe. And, you know, if you go to town at night, parking a lighted parking lot. If you see somebody ducking around cars and stuff, I mean, there's nothing wrong with leaving and calling us. You know, let us checking it out, and then it's better safe than sorry.
Up next, let's take a tour of Green Source Recycling. Not many of us are familiar with the facilities that Clarksville has for recycling, and probably even fewer of us take the time to bring our recycling to one of the few drop-off locations that we have in the city. An inside look into the process used by Green Source, what actually happens to things we recycle, and whether they're actually recyclable or not.
I'll let you lead. How about
Yeah,
that?
okay.
We're ready.
Okay, yeah.
I'm Jacob Gould. I'm the Deputy Director of the West River Valley Solid Waste District. We're a 9-county district, just under 400,000 people, and we operate the Green Source Recycling MRF here in Clarksville.
Last week, I went to the Green Source Recycling MRF to see what it should look like when 400,000 people recycle, and how many of us in the area actually aren't recycling.
Cardboard is our most recycled material, and that's because of all of the stores around here. Of course, everything is shipped in cardboard. You see the Amazon box.
I was also wondering if there was anything I was recycling that they don't want, and if there's anything they do want that I keep throwing away. How could I make their lives easier?
One of the things I would love the people to know is that the only plastic that we recycle are bottles.
Bottles?
Bottles only. Yogurt containers, butter tubs, toys, none of that stuff is recyclable. Let me show you.
Okay.
So I can tell in this bag here, this is somebody's plastic recycling. These clamshells, even though this is probably made from a, let's say, number 5, so that wouldn't be recyclable anyway. So we only accept 1s and 2s, but specifically bottles. A bottle is anything with the opening smaller than the rest of the container. So these are very good. This is actually probably our #1 plastic materials, water bottles. This would be okay. You can see the opening is smaller than the rest of the container. But then you have this item, not recyclable. It's not a bottle. And then a #4 low density polyethylene plastic bags. That is recyclable, but we do not do that. Styrofoam.
No.
There's no. We don't do any of that stuff. And you can see like, and it's a huge problem for us. This is contamination.
Yeah.
This takes up a lot of our time to sort this material out. This is not recyclable material. This is not recyclable material. None of the bags, none of this plastics. Plastics is our biggest contaminant.
I didn't even realize how much time they had to spend picking out things that people automatically recycle. It's a fine line, too. If there's so many restrictions, then people might give up and not even try to recycle, especially since there's only one drop-off location in the city.
In reality, with 400,000 people in our district, that should be full all the time. That just shows you how little of our population actually recycles. And it may be related to what you're saying earlier, we don't have the curbside program.
Yeah.
We only have the drop-off locations scattered throughout at businesses and the public drop-offs out of territory. It's unfortunate that more people don't do it. It's just as easy as throwing out your trash, I think.
Yeah. And a lot of the work to actually recycle the materials doesn't even happen in Clarksville.
These will be shipped to one of 2 plants in Alabama. The paper product is shipped up to Walla, Missouri. Most of this stuff, we just call it ONP. That's the code for old newspaper.
I also didn't realize that a lot of the things we recycle are basically donations to them. Us recycling brings in more money for them to keep doing more, and the more we recycle, the more recycling services and options we might get to have in the future. The way things are now, these guys can't see curbside recycling pickup happening along with our garbage. But if we as a community and city really make a strong effort not only to save our planet, but help our local recycling business, we could see a major growth in green initiatives. Not only that, but seeing the things that go down the conveyor belt for people to separate was wild. At the end of the day, whatever is the easiest way for you to give your recycling to them, they appreciate it. But there's also other places to recycle other things, like plastic bags.
These are a problem, and if you put these in your household recycling or take them to your local drop-off, they're going to get thrown away. And I want the public to understand that. If you want to recycle these bags, you need to take them back to their source, such as Walmart or Lowe's or Kroger. Harps in Clarksville actually has a recycling for these bags. This is also low-density polyethylene. You can throw these in the same bin with your plastic bags. Not recyclable, not recyclable, not recyclable. It's a shame, but it's just not something we can do in our area. The good news is this can be super compacted in the landfill, these small plastics, so it doesn't take up much landfill space. Right.
Yeah.
To answer your question, you don't have to clean this.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it looks gross, but it's not a problem to us, you know? We're more worried with you putting it in your recycling than actually cleaning it out. If it's easier on you not to clean it out, don't worry about it. Now we got a good set of bike pedals. I may take those myself. This is what we call a recycling win. Nothing wrong with this stuff. Yeah.
After getting the grand tour of Green Source, I realized how many more things I'm able to recycle and what things I shouldn't even bother with. This will make it not only easier for me and other students on campus to recycle, but I hope this hits people at home too, because if we change our recycling habits, we can change our future.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And welcome back to Ozarks Weekly on KOZ Channel 6. I'm Jay Collin.
And I'm Haley Grace Clark. And we're here tonight broadcasting from the University of the Ozarks. We're back with a story about an elite group here at UVO, and they're called Student Ambassadors. These guys are a major part of the admissions team. Shade Seymour provides a deeper look into the student ambassador community and their role both in and out of the office. Admissions Office Coordinator Emily Morrow provides some insight on this title and also discusses one of the newer roles that student ambassadors have.
Student Ambassadors is a leadership program that works with the students who are looking at the university, so they're mainly our prospective students. So they give the tours, they also go on lunches and everything with our visiting families, but they also help with tours and lunches for faculty candidates or for new Board of Trustees members.
Along with giving tours and representing the university, student ambassadors have been taking on a new and even more engaging role. They've been using everything that they've learned and done in the field and applying it to their duties in the admission suite.
That is strictly the entire lobby area is our ambassador area now. They're the ones that man the front desk. They're the ones that's interacting with our families from the very beginning. They're even interacting with all of our current students now because anyone that comes into the admission office is interacting with the student ambassador. They've done that with the tours and lunches, but now you're seeing it's almost to a higher level now that they feel like, okay, this is my space. I am representing right here. You know, this is what I can do for my part to give back.
Being an ambassador is much more than giving tours and lunches. And for Ozarks ambassadors, it's about being a part of a community that encourages and supports one another in everything that they do.
It's like a family, and I know you hear that a lot around here, but it really is because, I mean, everybody just helps everybody, and I mean, to me, that's what family is. You help each other out in any way, whatever way it is that you need. But I love to see the interaction. I love to see that it doesn't matter if you're a quiet person, you know, you see people start to come out of their shells and stuff.
For Ambassadors Sami Saati and Casey Zaff, the feeling of family and acceptance among ambassadors is mutual.
If anyone goes to any of our meetings, they're going to see that it's like a family. There's no other way to put it. It's crazy. Some of us are really loud, some of us are not, some are funny, some are more serious, but we're all just like one big goofy family.
The ambassadors here are my family. That's like the best way that I could put it. We walk into our ambassador meetings and like everybody's hanging around, everybody's laughing and having a good time. And even during the meetings, I mean, we get things accomplished, but at the same time, there's still that like friendship and that bond that can't be broken.
According to Emily, this environment amongst the ambassadors contributes greatly to tour giving as it creates a welcoming environment for families.
We have a lot of fun, I think, just the interactions, and I know it definitely makes a difference with our families and stuff, because statistics even show that it is what they feel like when they're visiting with the students will help determine their decision.
College experience, we meet many friends along the way, especially the ones that we live with. Your roommate in college are some of the most influential people during the few years you are there to learn. Rooming with international students can be a beneficial and learning experience that many of us might not get. Roommates Keaton Little from Michigan and Jordan Vilma from the Bahamas show us an up close what it's like living a few feet apart in their homes that are 1,000 miles away. And Trinae LaFrancis' piece on international roommates.
My name is Jordan Vilma, and I'm from Algo, the Bahamas.
My name is Keaton. I'm from Michigan, about an hour north of Detroit.
I basically only spent a night in the room before I had to go back to the Bahamas. But over the break or whatever, we both kept in contact via Snapchat, and then he was interested in what I was doing when I was coming back, and he kept telling me to be safe and that he anticipated my arrival back so he could get to know me. And that was really cool of him, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's definitely different from like where I'm from, and where I grew up, there's not many international students at all, like anywhere you go.
My experience is, like I said, pretty cool. I get to know a lot about his culture. He gets to know about my culture. I get to know about the type of music they listen to down there, and vice versa.
My experience so far is pretty good. They're a lot cleaner than I expected. They're really polite, and they respect everything of what's yours or what's theirs and stuff.
And actually introduced me to country music, which is actually a genre of music I never expected myself to listen, because back in the Bahamas we listened to mainly soca, reggae, along with pop and hip hop, so it was actually cool, and I actually enjoy listening to that genre of music.
I think it's a good thing because it's like an eye opener to see what they're different from you and growing up is, and I think it's a good thing.
Based on my experience, I would definitely say that having an international roommate is a good one thus far. And I would highly recommend for anyone, like whether you're college or whatever, to like room with someone from a different nationality, from a different country, or etc. Like, it's definitely a good experience and you won't regret it.
For public safety officers, health and safety are just a couple of main focuses. Kevin Nawa shows us this through his lens, how this one officer takes it a step further. Professional friend Austin Huckfeld shows us the good life through making pizza.
It is sourdough crust or yeasted crust, depending on how you make it. Tomato sauce, but amazing tomatoes, amazing mozzarella cheese, a little bit of olive oil, and some fresh basil on top. When you put those 5 simple ingredients and nothing more, then you can taste those 5 ingredients in their perfect combination. So that's why it still exists all over Italy and all over the world, honestly, is this simple dish. So someone just made the off-the-cuff comment that we don't have any fire-roasted pizza, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I could make fire-roasted pizzas.
For me, community is the star of the show, and the pizzas are just gathering communities.
But the food brings people together.
This is the place I want to be.
If I don't prune this good idea, then we're gonna have way too many good ideas, and none of them are gonna be the best idea. When you try something and it just brings a smile to your face because it's so good.
I'm just the pizza guy.
And I can bring the food to where you are rather than you having to come to where I am. So everything that I'm working on now is working towards being a wellness coach. And so when I connected the dots of being a wellness coach to being a professional friend, it literally was a light bulb.
Side or not enough on the other, it can very quickly become a shape that is not circle.
I actually really like mistakes in the kitchen because there's nowhere to go except to grow. it helps you get to perfection.
More sauce?
Man, after seeing that, I'm pretty hungry.
Oh, it really did look good. And it totally makes sense about, the limited ingredients and just so you can really taste each one.
Hey, can we order a pizza?
And so while they're doing that, let's take a look at Jamal Roll's story on Algie Poitier and her lash extension business. This segment gives you an in-depth look at how to do lash extensions step by step.
Eyes without lashes are like ice cream without sparkles. College student and business owner of Blinks, Algie Poitier, will be demonstrating on how to install Script Minx lashes. Firstly, you use eye pads and you place it at the bottom eyelashes to protect them from sticking to the top lashes or gluing your eyes shut. Secondly, get a strip of lashes. Then you get your tweezers. You use your tweezers to get your lashes. You place them on individually by applying glue. You would use your second tweezers to spread your real lashes to put the minks in. Next, you will use mini air conditioning to dry the glue. You use your spoolies to curl the lashes and to take off the lashes that isn't glued properly. Then you continue placing the lashes until it's full. Then you repeat this process using on the next side.
Winter can be a dreary, cold, and lonely time for some. Next, Nicole Finch brings us an artistic look at the wintertime feelings surrounding solitude, nature, and the opening of doors as we gear up for spring. Frost at Midnight by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, read aloud by Mason Clough, is about coming to terms with life during the winter and hopes of spring.
Again loud as before. The inmates of my cottage, all at rest, have left me to that solitude, which suits abtruser musings, save that at my side my cradled infant slumbers peacefully. 'Tis calm indeed, so calm that it disturbs and vexes meditation with its strange and extreme silentness. Sea, hill, and wood, this populous village, sea and hill and wood, with all the numberless goings-on of life, inaudible as dreams. The thin blue flame lies on my low-burnt fire, and quivers not. Only that film which fluttered on the grate still flutters there, the sole unquiet thing. Methinks its motion in this hush of nature gives it dim sympathies with me who live, making it a companionable form, whose puny flaps and freaks the idling spirit by its own moods interprets, everywhere echo or mirror seeking of itself, and makes a toy of thought. Therefore, all seasons shall be sweet to thee, whether the summer clothe the general earth with greenness, or the red-breasts sit and sing betwixt the tufts of snow on the bare branch of mossy apple tree, while the night thatch smokes in the sun-thaw, whether the eavesdrops fall heard only in the trances of the blast, or if the secret ministry of frost shall hang them up in silent icicles, quietly shining to the quiet moon.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to Ozarks Weekly on KUOZ Channel 6 here on campus at University of the Ozarks. I'm Haley Grace Clark.
And I'm Jay Collin.
Up next, Wyatt McKagren goes behind what happens at FLW, that's Fishing League Worldwide, with pro Billy McKagren, finding out what it's like fishing competitively with the best anglers in the world. Follow McKagren as he pursues a shot at winning $300,000 and becoming the title FLW Cup champion.
Hey guys, I'm Billy McKagren, FLW Touring Pro. As you can see, I'm sitting here in my boat, about to get ready for my second FLW tournament of the year. If you're not familiar with FLW, it's a professional bass fishing league. And we actually, I guess in the U.S., we have 3 professional leagues now. You have the Bassmaster Elite Series, you have Major League Fishing, and you have the FLW Tour. I've been fortunate enough to fish in 2 of those. And you know, to get to travel the world or travel the United States and chasing those fish, you know, to make a living. Being a touring fishing professional, it's both the greatest thing ever for me, and it's also one of the toughest things. I have to drive all over the U.S. I'm gone from home, you know, for weeks at a time, away from my family. You know, that's really tough, especially the being away from your family. I'll give you, for instance, I have a 3rd grade son, 8-year-old son. He has qualified for his championship in Pee Wee basketball, and I'm fixing to leave, going to Florida, and I'm gonna have to miss the championship. I've missed birthdays. I've missed almost every anniversary since I've started fishing professionally, and it's a grind. You know, everybody thinks it's really great, and don't get me wrong, being a professional fisherman, getting to do what you love, it makes it seem like, you know, you're not even doing a real job. But the time away from home, you know, it gets old, and those long hours. News for everyone, Major League Fishing has recently purchased FLW. And for those of you, you know, it was really scary at first because we didn't know what was going on, but we've got to be able to meet with those guys a few times, and I'm actually really excited. You know, we're going to have more media coverage for our tournaments, more television, and everything up front looks really, really good. I'm super excited to get there. The FLW tournaments will stay the same. It's going to be a 5-fish limit per day. We'll still have our weigh-ins every day, 4-day tournaments. But the kicker is on the end of the year championship, we're going to fish our championship Major League Fishing style. So that'll be a little bit of a change. It's kind of new to the sport, and I'm really looking forward to it. Guys, I'm just finishing up here on a little tackle, getting ready to go to Harris Chain of lakes in Florida. I've already put probably 25 of the Phoenix rods, loose reels already in the boat that I've got pre-rigged and ready. I've got the last few. You know, you never want to go to Florida without a topwater bait. I got this rigged up on a Phoenix M1 series. I'll be using. If you've ever been to Florida, it's a big, soft plastic lake. Fish spawn down there starting in December, January, all the way through June in a lot of the lakes. So you always have fish up shallow, and it's really good for soft plastics. This particular setup, but some of the stuff I'm loading up are the Zoom trick worms. You'll notice all the colors I have are real basic. June bug, black and blue, watermelon red is about all you need. I'll pitch this around lily pads, docks, whatever color, or cover I should say, is down there. Also, we'll use a small speed worm, ultraviolet speed worm, and the larger speed worm. And these have seemed to be 3 of the best baits I've ever used fishing in Florida. It don't matter what lake I'm in, the trick worm or speed worm catches fish every time. And I try to keep it simple.
The University of the Ozarks baseball season is in full effect as spring weather is slowly creeping on us. The mitts are popping and the bats are dinging, and Dylan Keister takes us behind the scenes of an Eagles home opening series versus Westminster College to take a look at what goes on during game day with the players of the U of O Eagles.
After months of anticipation, preparation, concentration, and appreciation for this great game, your 2020 U of O Eagles lace up their cleats with their gloves and game faces on, ready to battle the Blue Jays of Westminster College in the first home game of the decade. Live at the Coliseum, this is Ozarks Baseball.
Boy. Dude, Chase, put one over the house, bro. It's a good day. Oh, hit the bus. Tick. Yeah, almost on that. It got away. You eating up, boys? Oh, yeah, baby. Hey, let me get some reps over here. Get up here. Let me get some reps. Are you still doing reps now? No. I think you are. Buddy? Dude, I think you're still I'm sorry. Yeah, bro? Just chilling, dude? Yeah, well, What'd you do for Valentine's Day, dog? I went and bought myself a lion. Really? And a box of chocolates. Oh my god. Sat in my room and watched movies. Really? What you did? Yeah, I swear. Everybody? Awesome. Okay, I was going to stuffed animals and I was like, dude. Yeah, they're pretty expensive, dog. Dude, they're overpriced, I swear, bro. There was a dinosaur that said... A dinosaur? Oh my god. Yeah? It was like... A dinosaur with a hoodie? Yeah. Oh my god. Huge. It was a T-Rex. Okay. It was like Dino-tastic or something. Oh my gosh. I don't remember. What wordplay, dude? It had a pun with dino and like a word that means nice.
Oh, the slow show to starting today, baby. It is starting today. The slow show. Premiering at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock today. Try to do it just like you. Alright, let's see it. Let's see if you learn. Oh, that was good. Oh, no. Come on, I did not teach you how to throw like that, man. Come on.
Good
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first game of the 2020 season for your Ozarks Eagles as they take on the Westminster Blue Jays from Missouri. On the mound for your Ozarks Eagles to lead off the day will be David Beck. David Beck is currently 1-0 as he completed a complete game shutout against Austin College last week.
The Eagles come into the 2020 season relying heavily on starting pitching and good defense. The offense struggled against Austin College last week, but the Eagles are hoping to turn that around in this series. The Blue Jays bats were hot at the beginning of the game, scratching across 3 runs in the first 2 innings, but starter David Beck settled down and got down to business.
Yep, and that's going to be a fastball. It's going to strike out number 27. Still
But the Eagles' bats did not hesitate to catch the same heat.
That's going to be a hit into left field, just over left fielder. And Arco's going to take the round at first. Second. That's going to be outside pitch. It's going to be a hit to left field. And the left fielder's going to dive, not going to be able to get it. That's going to bring in 2 runs with Arco and Aguirre. Edwards advancing to second. A clutch double by Chase Edwards. It's going to bring in 2 runs, bringing the total to 3-2. That's going to be a hit just into right field, and that's going to bring in Edwards from third and advance Stevens to second. This game is all tied up, folks. It is 3-3. And that's going to hit Renier Hono right in the inside of the knee. And he's going to hobble, and it was an inside fastball that got away from Dick Knight, and that does not look good for Arjona. Brandon Mabry's up to the plate for first baseman number 25 as he hopes to bring another RBI. He's going to hit that high into center field. McGuire's tagging. See if they're going to send him. And they will. And he's going to get in there standing up, no problem, as that's an RBI sac fly.
The Eagles would go on to score 8 runs in the 3rd inning and would hold on to a 10-7 lead going into the 7th inning.
That should be our 8th run, right?
Reliever Chris Sloan came out of the bullpen, throwing a scoreless 6th inning.
And we're back. Top of the 7th. Chris Sloan still on the mound for the Eagles with a 3-run lead. It's 10-7. Throw a slider that's going to get off the end of the bat. And Stevens is going to come over on Luke Morrison's side and take the out for himself. We're setting up outside again. Sloan sets and delivers. 3 sliders in a row. That's going to do it for Wilson as he walks back to the dugout on a 3-pitch strikeout. 2 strikes now, 2 outs. 7th inning. Everyone in the dugout on their feet. Yet another slider for Sloan, and that will do for the Eagles. He closed the door and picks up a save. The Eagles are going to win it 10-7, the first game against Westminster Blue Jays.
The Eagles would go on to sweep Westminster College after a hard-fought game 2 and 3, giving the Eagles confidence going into next weekend's matchup against McMurray University.
Well, the Eagles wanted to get it after it this season. That's definitely what they did. As Dylan Keister said, the Eagles would go on to sweep Westminster in the home series opener. But the success wouldn't stop there for the Eagles. The baseball team would continue to battle for the Coliseum as they took on the McMurray Warhawks the following weekend at home. Eagles came out soaring in Game 1 as starting pitcher David Beck had his best appearance to date, throwing a complete Game 1 hitter. The tensions didn't stop there, though. The battle between the Birds went till the 11th inning in Game 3. But the 4.5-hour long game finally came to an end as freshman hitter Trey Vance was able to hit his first ever walk-off and lead the Eagles to a sweeping victory. Things would then take a turn for the baseball team as they went on the road to Abilene, Texas. The Eagles finally ended their 7-game winning streak when they played Hardin-Simmons. The Eagles were able to turn it around in Game 2 as they won closely 3-2. The Eagles would go into another extra innings game, but they would fall short, losing 13-12. The Eagles also had 2 midweek games against state rival Hendrix College. They won the first time at home 5-1, but lost while on the road 8-3. The Eagles were home this past week against the Lobos from Sol Ross. The team was close to another Coliseum sweep as they beat the Lobos handedly 9-4 in Game 1 and 16-7 in Game 2. However, they fell short in Game 3, losing 7-3. The baseball team has a busy schedule coming up this following week. They will be home for a 4-game non-conference series against Grinnell Saturday and Sunday. Games start at 1 p.m. on Saturday at noon and noon on Sunday. So turning from one field to the other, softball is searching for a win. The Eagles began their home opener against Hardin-Simmons. However, they weren't greeted with the same results the baseball team had in their home opener. The Lady Eagles struggled to put runs on the board against the hard-hitting Hardin-Simmons Cowgirls. Balls were flying in Game 2 for the Cowgirls as they were able to put up 6 home runs and bring across 20 runs against the Lady Eagles. The troubles didn't stop there for the Lady Eagles, though. They would travel to West Texas to play Sul Ross. The games were ended early due to run rules in the 3 games. The Lady Eagles look to bounce back as they will host Hendricks tomorrow at 4 p.m. and Howard Payne this upcoming Friday and Saturday. From clay to the court, men's tennis team faced University of Texas Dallas for their opening home matches in February. However, they fell short, losing 7-2. In more recent news for the tennis team, they traveled to Sherman, Texas to face Austin College. Both the men's and women's team would fall short, only clinching 1 win between the 2 teams. Angelo Ito Toast posted the team's only single win at the number 1 position. Some more updates from your Ozarks Athletics. Both men and women's track team traveled to Conway, Arkansas to participate in the Hendricks College Alumni Open. Some notable performances, first from the women's team, came Anaya Cifuentes as she placed second in the 3,000-meter steeple with a time of 13:26:40. And for the men, Jacob Mills placed third in the 5,000-meter running a 17:01:51, and Luis Garcia was 6th place with a time of 18:24:65. The Eagles will compete in the University of Central Arkansas Spring Opener March 14th. Another event to look out for is clay target shooting. They will compete at Arkansas State Collegiate Shootout at Jacksonville, Arkansas, this Saturday, March 14th. And lastly, after failing to reach national tournament last year, wrestler Nathan Rankin has been on a mission to return to the Nationals again and bring a national title to Ozarks. Digital storyteller Luis Alfaro puts together
with the 125
pursuit to glory.
Yes, sir. Nathan Rankin is here. Yes.
On my worst day, I went All-American, and on my good day, I want to win a national title.
One word to describe Nathan.
Bulldog.
Tenacious.
Probably have to say stubborn. I don't like to quit until I get what I want, so in a way, I'm very stubborn. So I definitely carried the feeling of not qualifying last year as a huge motivator all throughout the season. I had my 5th place trophy from regionals sitting above my locker, so every day before practice I'd look at it and remember how I didn't qualify, and then every time I was having a tough practice or a hard workout and I wanted to quit or I'd take the easy way out, I'd dig down to that horrible feeling I had of not qualifying, and that got me through some of the rough times of the season. And I think without that motivation and that hard time last year, I don't think I would be in the position and be the wrestler that I am today. So it definitely was a hard time, but it's well needed. So right now it's kind of more, the hay's already in the barn, so I'm not too worried about conditioning at this point. It's kind of just perfecting some techniques and working on some new things that I looked over on my film and saw from regionals. Just getting 2 to 3 attacks going at the same time to be able to get better in on kids' legs. That's going to be one of the big things that's going to determine if I win matches at nationals. That, and then just going to the training room, keeping my health up, and then I should be ready to go.
I mean, he puts in a lot of time, and he really is a student of the sport. In like where he loses positions or gives up points, he'll go back and work on those things. All the things that make him great, he will continue to do. You know, his pace is really good, his feet move well, his hand fighting's good. He's really worked hard on his recovery this year, as different than last year. The last couple of years, because of the multiple sports, he's come to us and we kind of got to nurse some injuries back and sort of throttle his training. Whereas this year he's done a lot on his recovery. If you text that kid at 10:30 at night, he's already sleeping. And I think that's just how he's really structured in his life, his studying, his recovery habits, his nutrition.
Yeah, to be successful at the level that Nathan is, you've got to be dedicated, you've got to
have all your priorities aligned. You've got to take care of your schoolwork because he's a great student, but I mean, he's up in the mornings at 5 working out, running, wrestling, and then working late into the night. So I see him up here first thing in the morning, I see him up here late in the evening, and he's taking care of the studies in between then. So he's an outstanding student athlete.
He's really taken everything as a learning opportunity to keep getting better, and he's applied those things, and just tenacious competitor, like I said. He really hates losing, and I think that drives at its core. He just is going to do anything he can to win. Nathan was pretty hurt last year, not going. I don't know if my words can give it justice, but that's something that like I told you, he hates losing, and he loathed how that tournament, how he performed. He's striving all year to redeem himself, and he has a point to prove. He's got a chip on his shoulder a little bit, and it's exciting. I don't know if I would have thought before last year I would have seen a more motivated Nathan, but we did, and so here we go. I think we'll see an incredible set of performances if he performs to the best of his ability. When he does that, he's sort of a real unstoppable force. He's very, very good.
So the main thing right now is just to stay healthy, and I think I'm where I need to be. It's the national tournament. Everybody's goal is to win nationals, of course. And I think this year I'm excited because I have the confidence to go in there and do that. Just that with wrestling the best that I ever have before, I think I have the ability to go out there and win it.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
And welcome back. You're watching Ozarks Weekly on KUOZ Channel 6 here at the University of the Ozarks. I'm Jake Holland.
And I'm Haley Grace Clark. The Liberal Arts program here at U of O welcomes all kinds of interests and talents. A Day in the Life by Paula Huardo and Joshin Lee walk us through the daily accomplishments and challenges of the students at Ozarks. This week, watch the academic journey of theater students while creating productions from the campus and community.
Inside of the theater, there's a world that just doesn't happen inside of a normal classroom hours. We have everything from rehearsals to production meetings and shop. And while I'm not the person who runs the shop, I'm always walking through shop and seeing what's sort of happening or checking in through the day. Theater is such a collaborative art, so there's really something going on in our building from 9 in the morning until midnight, and that's a pretty typical day.
Usually when there's a new major or a new minor or student that is taking a class that has to do shop hours, at the beginning of the semester we go through and do a safety training where I talk about how to use the tools properly, the pertinent tools anyway, the ones that'll cut your hand off, and I teach them how to not cut their hand off, which I think is important. We wear safety glasses and closed-toed shoes, make sure that nothing lands on our feet and nothing goes into our eyeball, because those things happen all the time. There's sawdust flying around, and safety first.
We have one of two. We have the very vivacious student that's talking about everything and really out there, and they haven't started to craft how they use this incredible energy that they're bringing to the space. And then I have other students that have this incredible energy inside of them and they haven't learned to bring it out.
Whenever you're on C stage, there's a little bit more of a disconnect from the audience. That relationship is absolutely still there, but it is a little bit more disconnected, and you do feel more, I am up on this stage and you are down there. Versus the black box, it's much more intimate, because typically in the way we do our set designs, we are within 5 feet of the audience, and so it makes that audience-actor relationship a lot stronger.
When audiences come to see theater at the University of the Ozarks, I hope each show is something a little different. I hope that over the course of a couple of years, they've seen different types of theater, that every time they come, they go, that was a different experience than the last time I was here. I didn't know theater did that exactly.
So workshop happens every day from 1 to 5. All of the majors are required to put in a certain amount of hours, and we have material ready for them to start building the scenery and working on the props, collecting all the props and getting the costumes ready. And then each show we have a work call on Saturday where we start at 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock, and we just work on the show.
I think shop is a pretty important process, and that's why I love this major so much, and I think it deserves a whole lot of praise, because it's one of the only majors where you kind of get a holistic experience. I appreciate any time that I have an opportunity to be a stage manager or to work on set construction or the tech crew, sound and lighting design and stuff, because it adds to the whole process of theater. It's not just going on stage and being an actor, but it's understanding the entirety of the world of theater. And it's because of this why I think that theater majors are so well-rounded, because you don't just focus on one thing regardless. You might appreciate one thing, like for me, I appreciate acting and that's what I love most of all, but I also get experience in all these different aspects, and it's thanks to shop that I'm able to do this.
The first semester I was here, that was one of the biggest struggles I had, was learning how to balance shop and rehearsal and just classes in general and activities that those classes involved. You learn after a couple semesters how to balance everything, really prioritizing classes, making sure that you take care of all that homework and all of the tests and studying and everything. But then whenever you come into the rehearsal process, letting all of that go and just being there for the show.
The beginning process is very, very hectic. It's excruciating almost, but I love it. As you go through the process of learning your lines, you learn a whole lot about theater, and then in that very last week, I must admit, when everything starts to come together, it's just the most amazing thing, because you see all of your hard work start to pay off.
I think atmosphere is such a crucial part of what we are able to do as artists. I think our students live in a world where we're so absorbed by media and all of the things, and an opportunity to step in a space where we have to make eye contact and we have to listen to each other. It's a different world that my students walk into, and I spend a lot of time that each of those spaces is open, and each of those spaces provides a place where it's safe to take a risk, to put something out there that I might not in another place. And it's why I find some students really gravitate to the spaces that we work in.
The makeup room is where we go before every performance. We put on makeup and we generally just converse with the other students and other actors. It's incredibly important to build relationships within the department. It is good to have some kind of relationship with every member of the theater department because we spend so much time together. And normally we do that through different activities, through rehearsals, through shop, and it's an easy way to get those relationships.
And I hope audiences take away not only that this is a space that is trying to communicate and talk about what's really happening in the world, but also that it's a space where artists are learning. Young artists are working and learning and taking risks in their work to strive and make statements and be the artists of tomorrow.
I try to lead by example. Comes cleanup time, I try and have a broom in my hand cleaning up to it. I'm not in the classroom, so I can't really tell them step by step what the process is, but my hope is that they see what I put into it, and they see what it takes to show up every day and do your job every day, and I hope that they learn through that.
The university has had a big impact on me throughout the 4 years I've been here. The small community has definitely given me a place to grow in a safe kind of environment, and I don't feel like I would have had that the same way if I were to go to a larger university. And it allowed me to take this theater degree and turn it into an actual career, and I'm very thankful for that, because when I was in high school I was told that there's really no chance that you'll make a career out of a theater degree, but we're proving them wrong.
Theater is really long hours, and if it weren't for watching the students grow and change and discover things about themselves and other people and their own stories, where they've come from and what they want to tell and how they want to tell it, I wouldn't come back. It's collaboration. It's what makes theater. It's why there's nothing else like it, working one-on-one and discovering these stories in person with each other. There's nothing else like it.
Of course, this show is built surrounding campus and community, so our last segment for tonight is something special. Let's see what Jake Holland was up to on this week's episode of Guy with a Mic.
3 professors or faculty members?
Yes.
Is that a different thing?
I would sing, Tyler Mosby would play the drums, and Emily Marr would play the guitar.
Okay, so it's a rock group.
Yes.
What would the name of the group be?
Eagles for Life.
Eagles for Life, I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very nice, very wholesome for a rock group.
Yes.
I'm going with Dipple, I'm going with Strain, and I'm going with Bill Eakin. Those are my top 3.
Okay, what kind of music?
They're going to do reggae.
Reggae music, okay. Do you have a name for the group?
Andy's Cats.
Andy's Cats?
Yeah, Bill would know that one. Andy's Cats.
Okay.
Crothers would be on the drums. Jimmy Clark would be he'd be singing, and then Aaron Gentry would be on the guitar.
Okay, and do you have a band name?
Oh man. Oh, the Bad Boys.
I feel very on the spot right now. I feel uncomfortable with this line of questioning, and I haven't signed any kind of release. And I learned my lesson from talking to you both at the state capitol of Arkansas.
I can name the governor. It's that Bill Clinton guy that got impeached.
There we go. We got it right here. Bill, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton.
Now you're not going to use that, are you?
No, we're going to use
it. No, I don't think so.
Hey, guy with the mic here. If you had to put 3 professors or faculty members in a band, would they play any instruments?
Probably Dean Morrill, Deborah Sisson, and Robert Wofford.
You know what? Surprisingly, that's the first time that we've heard Dean Morrill picked. And for his voice, I would think he'd be picked more.
No, he's going to shred the electric guitar.
Okay, so it'd be a rock group.
He's going to have a 5-minute guitar solo.
Okay. Actually,
in Jonah's defense, I quite literally paid him to say that. He works at our front desk.
Do you have a group name for them?
The science guys, I don't know.
The science guys, even though Dipple's not sciencey?
I mean, political science.
Okay.
Probably like folk music.
Folk music? What instruments would they play?
I feel like you gotta throw a banjo in there.
Not the ladies' room.
I'm looking for Dr. Shook to play the drum.
Okay.
Professor Hoyland, he'll sing.
Okay.
And President Dansworth, I'll say the guitar. The bass.
Oh, Stacy Key would be the guitar.
Yeah, the guitar. Hardman plays didgeridoo. I think that would have to work in there somehow.
Carruthers would sing.
Carruthers would sing, yeah.
That's an interesting, very interesting mix, a didgeridoo, a guitar, and a singer. What's the name of the band?
Ozarks Outback.
Ozarks Outback, all right.
Leroy Gardner, Vinnie Barber, and Jason Schweer.
Okay. What kind of group would they be?
They would definitely be rappers.
Rappers, that's the first rappers we've had. Do you have a name for the rap group?
The Funky Bunch.
The Funky Bunch.
Don's got to be the singer. The president's got to be on the drums. Reggie on the bass.
Okay. What about the group name?
It's got to be something indie. The Vegetables.
The Vegetables.
I don't know, man. I don't.
The I don't notes.
I don't know. Oh, the I don't notes. Not too bad. You heard it here first, folks. The I don't notes. Yeah. Thank you.
Dipple.
See, Dipple's been a very popular answer.
Dipple.
Dr. Dipple.
Dipple.
Definitely Stuart Dipple.
Dipple.
Stuart Dipple.
Dipple.
Dr. Dipple.
And Dipple.
What would the name of the group be?
Dipple's Disciples.
Dipple and the Buddies. I don't know.
Dipple and the Buddies. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Definitely Dr. Dipple. Probably gonna throw Dr. Aiken in there and Dr. Strain.
Okay.
Great trifecta.
What kind of music would they play?
Definitely some pop. Yeah.
Some pop music. That's the first one for pop.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a band name?
Band name, The Rolling Rocks.
Rolling Rocks. I like it. Thank you very much. So we've asked a lot of people who they thought should be in a band. Personally, for me, I think Dean Morrill has to be in it. That deep voice would be great on the vocals. Not a lot of people said President Dunsworth, but I think he would shred the guitar. And if I had to put another faculty member in there, I think I'm going to go with Shook, actually. I think she would be really good on the drums, just banging them. So I think they'd be a rock group, and I think the name would be The Plants, because that was the first word that came to my head. So, hey, let's get this guy right here.
Oh my gosh. I think that was something we all needed to watch.
And who would you pick? Guy with the mic here on the University of the Ozarks campus. And we're going to start seeing, I forgot what I was going to say.
That last part made it even better.
Thank you.
I think, Jake, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I think that was something we all needed to watch. And I also think that once Dr. Dipple sees this, he will be very pleased to see his students really just like rallying behind his musical talent. I mean, he shows us in class all the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, thank you. It was something I could sense the community needed, And for those that missed it, I was basically asking people who should be in a rock group or in a band at all on the University of the Ozarks campus. So those are some of the answers that we got.
Yes, and so before we leave you all tonight, we'd also like to tell you about some events that are coming up. First, our 48-hour movie project kicks off this Friday. Our teams that are competing have until Sunday to make a short film. Then the premiere will be Monday night at 7 p.m. in the RCC, and it's open to the public. During the premiere for the short films, we will also have the premiere of Stomoas, directed by Bradley Thompson, starring us.
Yeah, that's true, and we haven't seen it yet at all, so it'll be our first time watching it too. It'll be really fun, so come out and watch all these projects from the communication department being displayed. So we really encourage you to be there to support us at 7 o'clock in the RCC on Monday night. And next Tuesday in the RCC, the Walton's Arts and Ideas Series presenting the award-winning feature-length documentary, Fly Like a Girl, showcasing the passionate young girls and women pursuing their dreams of aviation in the mostly male-dominated field. Watch them dare to aim higher and again, fly like a girl. It's premiering Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the RCC.
That is definitely something that I don't want to miss. And it's great because it'll be happening this time next week. We'll be taking a little break from Ozarks Weekly for the Fly Like a Girl premiere and for our spring break the next week. But don't worry, we'll be back in a few Tuesdays on March 31st at 7 here on KUOZ Channel 6, live at the University of the Ozarks here in Clarksville, Arkansas.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a few weeks.